A customer ordered Herugrim from me, which is King Theoden's blade from The Lord of the Rings. So I chose a nice chunk of 5160, a spring steel, for its flexibility and its strength. And being such a thick piece of steel, it definitely took me a long time to draw out that taper and to get the steel to the right dimensions that I needed. I found that it was a pretty wide blade, so a lot of hand hammering, but in the end, I was pretty pleased with how it worked out. So at that point, I was ready for the quench. A nice quench to give it a nice strong blade, but a flexible blade as well, and then we moved on to cleaning it up on my grinder. Once I was happy with how the blade went, I moved on to constructing the hilt. This was the most elaborate hilt that I have ever made, and I needed to do a lot of casting in order to do this. So I roughed out the shape in that foam, and then I moved on to getting the brass into my foundry so that I could melt it down. I let it come up to temperature, and once everything was liquid, I was able to then take that and move it over to do a drop cast. Not a lost wax casting. I'm not really good at that right now, but as you can see, it turned out really well. I was really happy with it. When I pulled it out, it was of course a little bit rough, and it took a lot of work with my graver, with some carbide bits, but I was able to finish it, give it a nice patina, and then move on to the pommel. Same thing, I cast the basic shape, I used my carbide bits, I used a lot of files, and I used my graver to get the details that you see on the film. Once I finished that pommel up as well, I fitted the blade together, I peened it over with a mechanical connection, moved on to the scabbard, where I then routed out the basic shape, and I cleaned it up with my chisels. Very slow, delicate work, so that I can make sure that it was a good fit. After testing to see if I liked how it slid in, I moved on to finishing up the scabbard. Some brass fittings, a nice red leather that I used also on the handle. I kind of felt that it really pulled the whole piece together. This is absolutely the most intricate blade that I've ever done. It's also probably my favorite blade that I ever did. I sent it off to its new home, where I hope the new owner will absolutely adore it, just like I do. I had a great time making this thing, so you guys let me know what you think.